Hello Ds, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna, and welcome back to the latest Benidorm news update. Here, as usual, we'll be talking about the most important, most significant, the latest news from Benidorm town and surrounding region, plus the tourism update and the weather forecast for the upcoming week. We'll talk about the new fine of almost 500 euros that someone will get if they won't follow the rules of this quite polemic and problematic thing that we have in Benidorm town. The second news will be about the giant, humongous lack of workers that is happening not only in Benidorm but in surrounding cities. What are businesses trying to do in order to make it better? If you want to know slightly more, stay tuned up until the end. First of all, let's talk shortly about tourism update and the most important events. As you all know, we are fully packed up right now. We are on La Cala Finestrat beach, and you could only see right now here on the screen on how busy it actually is. It is insane. There's plenty of people. It is very hot outside. The sun is shining and people just keep arriving to the beach non-stop. There's plenty of nice events that will be happening right now shortly. First of all, we do have the Hogueras, which is a traditional celebration of our region, of the area of Alicante. This will be happening from 19th till 24th of June. Immediately once the last day of school is happening on the 19th. So there's going to be big celebrations in Benidorm and La Cala Finestrat right on this beach right here. This beach will be celebrating the night of San Juan, which is going to be on 23rd of June. A huge bonfire, probably not the case because it's technically not allowed, but there's going to be a DJ session, there's going to be live music, there's going to be entertainment, fireworks probably at the end, and all of this beach will be packed up with people, absolutely. So don't miss it if you're here on holidays. Let's go to the two main news. One of them is that there's going to be new fines. Directly like this. This is a new fashion, or better to say the old forgotten fashion that should have been forgotten. But for some reason it emerged back again. As you all know, a few weeks ago, maybe even a month or more ago, we've made a video about mobility scooter issues, the things that are going on by the Sunday's market, how many people there actually are, and just the bizarre conditions some streets are at where you barely can pass and there's plenty of mobility scooters. We're talking not about the people who have a right to use them, but more about people who do not need them but keep using them just because, you know. And especially those who are less than 55 years old, who by law cannot even use them, but still do. Not sure what is the exact reason, but the rental companies, which are around 10 or 11 in Benidorm town, maximum, they always let people sign the contract saying that they know the rules, they will follow the rules. However, in practice, it's not the case. A lot of the times we've seen children using mobility scooters and their grandparents walking near them. Oh, it's fun. No, it's not fun. It is dangerous. And due to things happening like these, the police will be issuing fine of up until 500 euros for those who do not follow the rules for mobility scooters. This is going to be something that, depending on what you do, the fine will be bigger or worse. First of all, it should be only possible to rent mobility scooter if you're older than 55 years old, and if you have mobility difficulties. Okay, that's the thing. If you are less than 55 years old, you need to show any kind of walking disability, broken leg, impossibility to walk like a wheelchair user, whatever it is, right? But you need to show that you need it somehow. And then there is no problem. You need to have the documents with you that are a proof of this. You need to have your identity document to show that you are more than 55 years old. And if you go by a pedestrian walk, like pedestrian side of the road, you cannot go, attention, maximum more than 6.5 kilometers per hour. This is the maximum you can go in Benidorm, at least, by the pedestrian sidewalk. Not more than that. You cannot go speeding. No one can go speeding because it's dangerous. There's small children, there's pets, there's older people, there's people of different age. You know, you can just cross someone over. You know, it's not right. So on pedestrian sidewalk, maximum 6.5 kilometers per hour. On the road, like where the bicycle trails are, maximum 13 kilometers per hour. That's the maximum allowed speed. More than that, it is not allowed, it is forbidden. no drunk use. Do not let people sit down on your scooter if it's just for one person. If it's for two people, obviously two, but not more. No children on scooters. Do not leave the keys if you leave a scooter somewhere parked. Don't leave the keys because the company will not be responsible of a theft. If someone will take it to have some fun around Benidorm and will make some damage, you will be responsible of it. So this is a brand new thing that's happening right now, because all of a sudden we've noticed that this is reality. It is back. There's not as many, obviously, but there's people who are using it like this, like to have some fun after a night of like drinking at nightclubs. Younger generation started to use it back again. Not sure how and why, because all companies know they will have fines for it, and all companies are informed that shouldn't be the case, but for some reason they keep doing so. And now we've seen the increase with this issue back again after all these years that it's been more or less normalized, and there's been no like huge amounts of problems. Now something's going on back again. Hopefully it's not gonna be getting worse, honestly. The last news I wanted to share with you all is about the bars and restaurants, not only in Benidorm but in surrounding cities, that are honestly lacking workers so much that some specific days of the week they're closing additional days because they do not find any kind of workers to actually work in the establishment. This happened to us in Albir. Our people who we know who are owners of the bars, they have to close an additional day because they couldn't find waiters simply to cater for when others need to have like a break day. So they had to close down an additional day. Same as in Benidorm, but here the business owners are working, like brainstorming, and they've seen that if they start getting people slightly earlier on permanent, more or less permanent contracts in winter, by summer they will have more or less the amount of people with whom they could potentially make it work. They still are lacking workers. By the way, whenever you go down Benidorm, Levante beach, Poniente beach, the old town, wherever you go, you will see plenty of signs that workers are needed, and that is because well, no one wants to work in this industry. It's too hard, it's too difficult, the working hours are bad, the stress is bad, the amount of work is bad for what it's paid, and a lot of the times the issue is the tension with clients. It's just too much. It's not worth getting into this job. If you have something else you could do, people tend to avoid this sector just because it's underpaid. It's not a good place for a mental health to work at. Honestly, that's the thing. That's what it is. So, and those of you who worked in this type of sector, you know what we talk about. So to us, it is not surprising to see issues in the places. It's not surprising to see queues probably. Right now in the peak season, July and August, we will see plenty of queues outside. We'll see queues by the restaurants waiting to be seated. We'll see longer waiting hours for drinks, longer hours for meal preparation for the kitchen. The biggest amount of issues are with the bartenders or like waiters, plus the kitchen workers. These are like the worst, the most lacking ones, apart from the others, honestly. So cleaners, whatever you need for the tourism sector, it is lacking right now. And it is worse around Benidorm also because previously people were able to come from elsewhere and work here. They got to have some places to stay, like temporary apartments or rooms to share, and it was nice. They could work here, they could pay for everything that they needed to, and they still had left some money to bring back home with them, so it was profitable. Now it's not the case any longer. They have to spend their whole salary on a month's rent, and then it just doesn't make any sense. Why to come here and work if I'm not gonna get anything of it? I'm just gonna survive on this money, but I'm not gonna save up, I'm not gonna bring any money home. Just the weather and the sunshine, and that's what it is, a good climate, and that's that, and working non-stop. So a lot of people think that it is honestly not worth it, and they ain't wrong. A lot of the times it's just not worth it any longer, which is why there is a huge lack of workers. The increase of tourists is a non-stop increase. It's 10% every single month plus 10%, so it's increasing like linear like this. And honestly, we're kind of worried on what might be happening soon if there's not going to be enough workers, if there's not going to be any space to live. People need to be attended, not only locals but tourists, honestly, and obviously. But if people are not attended well, there's no one to attend. There's no person who can attend them as it is, as per se, because there is a big lack of workers. So people will start and see it. If there's not going to be enough of workers, there's going to be lines, there's going to be unpleasant situation. There might be a lot of issues with it and quite unpleasant, unhappy tourists due to a reason, because there's a lack of people who simply cannot attend all the necessary needs of these people. And now let's have a short walk down the beach and I'll show you what the weather is looking like and what the weather will be this upcoming week. Let's go. This is what the weather is looking like right now. Absolutely burning sand already. Blue skies with plenty of sunshine. Full beach. Whatever you see, so many people enjoying a lovely day. Huge groups, crowds of people even here by the beach. The weather is amazing. It's gonna be sunny this whole week long and we shouldn't have any kind of rain or clouds or whatsoever. We might have some clouds through the week, but it's nothing major and it's just gonna pass really fast because there's gonna be some rain, but in the central parts of Spain mostly. As for the temperatures, we will have loveliest temperatures of around 30-32. Now the real feel is 33 degrees honestly outside, but the water temperature is plus 24, so it compensates it and it's really nice to stay outside. Thank you for accompanying us in today's latest Benidorm news update. We wish you a lovely day and we'll see you here on the channel very soon with a brand new video. Goodbye.